What's up, y'all? This is Dubitdown. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I use to record all my music and why you don't need a big recording studio. As you can see, my laptop's a little dusty because I don't use that to type. I use this keyboard, and that monitor messes with my eyes, so I plugged another monitor that was bigger into it, and it's the same thing, but I just I plugged that into my USB port so I don't have to type on the laptop, and that's just makes it easier for me to use my computer. But that's my whole setup. Now this is my recording studio right here. Is everything you see in the camera right now is my recording studio. These two things right here. This is my Samsung Digimax i5, and that cost me this actually cost me $5, with shipping was like $7 or something. So this actually cost me, the guy had it on there for 12, and he basically said it's for parts are not working because he can't test it because it didn't have a battery. So he said, I'll give you an offer of 5 because I don't know if it's working or not. And it looked like a very good camera to me, because I bought this type of camera before, but I dropped them a few times. But the thing is, why I keep buying this same type of camera, is because I figured out the way to record is how I have it set up here. Now, basically, you could turn it around towards you like this, and it stays up perfectly fine. Now you can record your video, but you have to be kind of far away for it to get the whole video. You could turn it this way also, and you can record your video like this. Now, basically, as you can see, my laptop's in the background, and it doesn't have that much bass in it when you record, but I use free-to-use YouTube beats on my laptop, and these speakers are not big on here. But this is everything I use in my recording studio. I would simply record my video while I freestyled on the YouTube beat, and then I would upload them. I would upload them to YouTube, and then I would basically take my YouTube video and convert it to an MP3 on a program, and then I would simply go on route note and then add bass by 18 notches and save the file. And then I would open up the file in Vocal Remover and change the pitch to 1.25 times speed. Yeah, 1.25 times speed is what I'm trying to look. So basically that's all I did on, and what that does is sound like I'm in a bigger recording studio than I'm in. Now, some people want to measure success by how many, fake subscribers and followers and all that they have, and they want to make it look good when they're in a huge recording studio and they spent $50,000 on upgrades and they couldn't stop at $1,000. They had to spend $65,000. They got $100,000 mixer. They got a $50,000 speakers. They got everything in their whole studio. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars in the recording studio. I replaced this camera twice already because what happened is it's so small I broke it a few times. And like I said, I got this camera. He had it on there on eBay for 12, and he was selling it for parts or whatnot because he didn't have a battery. But I seen in the photo that he had on eBay that it looked very nice. There was no smudges on it. There was no scratches. And I know from previous experience, because I owned 2 of these before I broke the last 2. And the last one I bought before this was $30 on eBay. And he was selling that as working parts. He was selling that used as working parts. But I bought the last one for $30. And the one I got before that was a gift. So this is my 3rd camera. And the reason that I actually broke them was because they would fall off or something. And it would it would it would have distortion in the in the um in the recording video that I would make. It would have distortion in it, or the video wouldn't come in that good, you know, like my last video I made, because it's kind of fell off of here a few times, so the last video I made didn't come in, but the sound still came in on it. But so that's my whole recording studio right here. As you can see, I'll turn my self around in this chair. That's my PlayStation 4, getting a little dusty. Just my TV right there, and then I'm putting the couch right here though. As you can see, I'm putting the couch. I moved all that back in there. Got the shoe racks out of there. You know, did something over here, but it's looking better in here. You know, some of my diplomas and degrees right there. My little roller station. My other TV. My closet. This has been remodeled in here. You know, this used to go back, and this door used to go back this way into a bigger room. But anyways, this is my whole recording studio. You know, and I got $35 into it. The laptop was a gift for Christmas a few years ago, so I didn't pay for that. You know, I'm not using this is my $35 that I invested into my recording studio. The last camera cost me $30. It was the same one as this, and then this one cost me $5. So I have $35 invested in my recording studio, and I made 985 songs on this method. So I hope you guys paid attention to how you could do this from no money involved and the things you need to make your recording studio. So, you know, I could probably sell this as a class on here, or you know, a course or something, but I'm just going to go ahead and upload this video. This is everything you need, and that's a Toshiba laptop. What you really need is your equipment that you're using. Doesn't matter the size of it, but if your equipment is not broke, then you can record professionally on small equipment. You do not need $50,000, $30,000 recording studio. As you can see, I have no speakers in here. But as you can see, this is the proper setup to how you record. You put your camera right here. You see what I'm saying? This is the exact space you need to have your. Now you want to kind of come up to the camera when you do your raps. You want to be about this far away from, as you can see in the reflection right here. You know, this is where you want to be at when you record your vocals on your YouTube. And this will play to YouTube from the speakers back here. And then it's perfect amount of space from here to there, where all you got to do is bring yourself up to about right here. And that's basically the whole setup. And then, like I said, you would go into route note, and then you would add bass. What I do is add plus 18 on it, and then I open them up in Vocal Remover and speed them up to 1.25 times speed. That's my whole mixing and producing method. You know, there's not much to it, but as you can see, like, you know, people want to like measure your success by how big your recording studio is. They don't want to comment too much. They kind of like, you know, they want to say you're not a real producer. You know, when you made 985 songs, they want to say, well, you're not a producer. You're not a multi-platinum producer on that recording studio. And it's like, okay, that's nice that you think that, but I didn't need what you guys needed to do it. I did it on this equipment. You know, I don't have much to get my, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying is anybody could do this. Well, if you got the talent to freestyle and learn new methods of making music, but anybody can set their camera up like this is what I'm saying to record. And you can also make your YouTube videos on this camera. But if you do your YouTube videos, you would have to do them Like this, you would have to set it about right here and facing you, and then you would have to take your chair back to all the way to here to make your YouTube video correctly, where it would get you in the whole scene. But when you record your music, you want to be about this far from it. You see what I'm saying? So there's two different areas where you got to record at. You got to go further back to record videos for your YouTube, and you got to be a little closer to record videos for your music. But that's all done on my Digimax i5. So I hope that helps somebody out. This has been my $35 recording studio. You know, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm like, you know, this platinum producer and I did all these like songs, these hits and all this. I don't want to say that, but you know, I have gained, you know, a little bit of subscribers and followers on some platforms. So, you know, I'm saying it's not like I'm saying you could grow a little bit at a time, you know, and I'm still growing, but you know, the thing is they can't stop you when you have like, if your equipment's not broke, they can't stop you from producing music if you want to make music as make it in your full-time career. Because I've done this the last 10 years when I wasn't doing my eBay. You know, I did my music the last 10 years. I did both those jobs consecutively for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And when I wasn't doing my eBay, I was making music. And, you know, finally got them into a whole catalog of 985 songs. And I put them on a USB thumb drive, which you can find on my website as well. And, you know, that's also the course I'm selling is called it's called my course now, but it's my music, all my music catalog. And that's basically, you know, that's basically saying that, you know, shit, I forgot what I was saying, but that's basically saying, shit, I forget what I was saying. It's early in the morning. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's 985 songs. And then it's like, you know, it's something that, oh, it's my course is what I'm saying. I made it into my course because there's 80 albums on it, and then you can look at them as chapters, and it's like 90 days to learn to rap and a year to learn 10,000 times your IQ, and those are $100, and that's you get a free T-shirt while the 20 of them last. And you can find that on my website. But that's my whole recorder studio. The switch, the keyboard, and the switch, the keyboard, and the camera is just like, well, I think the keyboard is, I'm not sure which one it is, but the switcher USB ports, you just plug this in and out, and then, you know, but that's all it is, and you upload them to YouTube and then make them into MP3s on a program, would be YouTube to MP3 converter. So you just do that and then save your files as MP3s, and then you can eventually change them to wave, and you could eventually change them to wave to stereo with 2-channel output. So you could do all that, and you don't need equipment, you know, you don't need equipment to do all this. I've done it right here, you know. But those last few things I talked about changing, converting wave to stereo with 2-channel output, that's just getting them on, like, the last step would be getting on all wall stream. Once you get your music, like, you know, after you build up your catalog and you got some hits on your shelf, you want to like try to sell them on Wall Street or something like that. But anyways, guys, that's all I got. You know, you don't need, like I said, you don't need a huge recording studio. I don't have like, you know, I don't have like all these YouTube awards or nothing like that. But I'm working on, you know, I've been working on my music for a while. And that's just how it is, you know. I didn't have the money to make a big recording studio. I had to figure out the equipment that I figured out. But you know, a lot of people will say I'm not a real producer. I'm not a real music artist. You know, so that's just like things I deal with. But you know, I had to do with the money I had. You know, I had to do everything from my own, from nothing. You know, and nowadays I'm running like 4, maybe 5 businesses from my website. You know, so I own a few companies. I'm doing you know, I'm making like different growths here and there that I got like, you know, I sowed seed over the years, but I'm starting to see like increase in different things, you know. But anyways, guys, that's all I got. You know, sub me on both my YouTube channels, follow me on all platforms, leave a like and comment, and it's been a lot of fun. Dubitdown.